प्री सर्विस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में आ जाते हैं कन्वेंशनल टीचर ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम. Perspective of the conventional teacher training program can be studied in the guidelines and recommendation of many policies documents. ये आप डिटेल में स्टडी कर लीजिएगा, मैं आपको डॉक्यूमेंट शेयर कर दूंगा. सेकंड जो है फील्ड बेस्ड टीचर ट्रेनिंग, जो फील्ड में जाके आप टीचर ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम करते हैं. टीचर ट्रेनिंग थ्रू डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन, जैसे हमारे पास एग्जांपल है, हम बीएड, एमएड, एमएस, एमफिल, पीएचडी करें डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन इलामा इकबाल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी से, जैसे हम कर रहे हैं, ये डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम है. इन सर्विस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम, एजुकेशन एक्सटेंशन सेंटर्स, डायरेक्टोरेट ऑफ स्टाफ डेवलपमेंट. इन सर्विस आप जॉब भी कर रहे हैं, जॉब के साथ आप ट्रेनिंग ले रहे हैं, कौन से प्रोग्राम कर सकते हैं, वो जो सारे प्रोग्राम है उसे हम कहते हैं एजुकेशन एक्सटेंशन सेंटर या डायरेक्टोरेट ऑफ स्टाफ डेवलपमेंट, जो ये प्रोग्राम करते हैं. रिफ्रेशर ट्रेनिंग कोर्स आरटीसी, ये शॉर्ट टर्म कोर्स होते हैं ऑर्गेनाइज बाय द आगा खान सेंटर एजुकेशन बोर्ड इन नॉर्थर्न एरियाज, जिनकी ड्यूरेशन 12 दिन की होती है. प्राइमरी टीचर ओरिएंटेशन कोर्स पीटीओसी ऑफ इलामा इकबाल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी. The main objective of the primary teacher oriented course of Allama Iqbal Open University are to familiarize primary teachers with the new elements of the revised primary school curriculum, to increase their knowledge in appropriate subject areas, and to help them develop their teaching skills, and to provide them with an opportunity to improve their qualification by counting the PTOC as a one credit course for the intermediate certificate. The PTOC is a 6-month program. Primary and non-formal education (P&E). Learning modules of P&E wing means the primary and non-formal education wing has been developed to provide orientation to the innovations in teaching. Criteria used to identify appropriate topics and activities for the modules include in the following. कौन से module होते हैं? Level of conceptual difficulty, relevance to the child experience, relevant to the child period learning, relevance to the child future learning, degree to which topics are essential, appropriateness of the language and terminology used, degree to which they assist in the organization of a concept map, degree to which they relate to a hierarchy of skills, degree to which they relate to a sequence of role following procedures, degree to which they are generalizable or transferable, present curriculum, present textbook, learning material, available activities, generated, character of topics, quality of topics, community or social importance, likelihood of contribution of parent-child interaction, likelihood of contribution school community interactions, local conditions. Third major point, comparison of Anglo-Indian and schools of Bengal. The term Anglo-Indians can refer to at least two groups of people, those with mixed Indian and British ancestry and people of British descent born or living in the Indian subcontinent. From roughly the 8th to the earlier 20th century, the term referred specifically to British people working in India, Anglo-Indian से कहते हैं, and School of Bengal. The first use of Anglo-Indian was to describe all British people living in India. People of mixed British and Indian descent were referred to as the Eurasians. Terminology has changed and the latter group is now called Anglo-Indians, the term that will be used throughout this unit. Article 3662 of the Indian Constitution defines Anglo-Indian as an Anglo-Indian means a person whose father or any of whose other male progenitors in the male line is or was of European descent but who is domiciled within the territory of India and is or was born within such territory of parents habitually resident therein and not established there for temporary purposes only. Anglo-Indian schools and non-Anglo-Indian Bengal schools. Anglo-Indian schools in West Bengal, like other Indian schools, form a part of the state system of education. They receive grants from the state education department and are subject to inspection by a reasonable officer of that department. Some distinctive features of Anglo-Indian school administration. Anglo-Indian schools, like non-Anglo-Indian schools, fall under the overall jurisdiction of the State Director of Public Instruction, who administers and controls all government-recognized, aided and unaided schools conducted privately in the state. They are, however, under the control of the Inspector of Anglo-Indian Schools. This officer has the status of a chief inspector and statewide jurisdiction and is responsible only to the director of public instruction. Grants in aid. There was a very significant administrative difference between the two types of schools in respective of fees with other European schools in the locality. Teachers. A register of qualified teachers was to be maintained by the department. System of grants in ads. No grant would in future be given to private schools run for profit. The system of equipment grants, supplementary grants, building grants, etc. is most elastic and provide for wide unless a school could offer board and lodging free or at a nominal rate. Women teachers in Bombay or Madras prefer to stay at home on small salaries rather than to proceed to West Bengal. बाकी डिटेल मैं आपके साथ बुक शेयर कर लूंगा, आप स्टडी कर लीजिएगा. Qualification of teachers. In the period of 1937 to 60, the academic and professional qualification of teachers in Anglo-Indian schools also recorded a marked improvement, especially in the post-independence years. The kindergarten and primary teachers were now generally men and women possessing a Cambridge School Certificate, Indian School Certificate, or intermediate who had completed a 2-year course of general education and professional training modeled on that current in the UK. The middle school and senior classes began increasingly to be taught by trained graduates and postgraduate teachers. Because of increasing pressure for admission into these schools between 1950 and 1960, the total number of teachers in Anglo-Indian school also registered to quick increase to fill the new posts rapidly being created. The academic quality of the teachers improved. Conditions of service of teachers. Conditions of service in Anglo-Indian schools also recorded a considerable improvement during the quarter century before 1960 and especially since independence. The education and training of teachers for Anglo-Indian schools. The quality of teachers in any school system depends largely on the quality of their general education and professional training. Till the 40s of the century, majority of teachers in Anglo-Indian schools, especially in the primary and middle schools classes, were missionary teachers or drawn from boys and girls educated in the Anglo-Indian schools themselves and trained in the Anglo-Indian Training College for undergraduate teachers. Point for development and problems of teacher education. Institutional and functional management of